What's up, cool people? Thank you guys so much for hanging out again for another Roller Coaster Reacts. Today, we're talking about your most egregious roller coaster opinions, and you delivered. So, let's go! As we go through this, please tell me down below what your favorite hot take is. What's the one that ticked you off the most, or just the one that you thought was so outrageous that you had to repost it down in the comments? Please let me know down below. And also, tell me what your favorite hot take is just from yourself. If you haven't already posted one of these, then let me know your favorite hot take down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys down there also. Now, I use 3 different forms of social media in order to get onto this. I did the community tab on YouTube, I did Twitter, and I did Instagram. So if you are not following me on those platforms, please go check me out at Not Your Normal G1. I'd love to see you guys there, and each one kind of has its very own personality. So you'll see some pictures, you'll see some extra bonus content. There's just lots of fun things that you guys can see on all of those things. So if you are not getting enough Not Your Normal Guy, then come hang out with us. If you are getting enough, then just stick here. That's fine. Anyway, let's get into this today because you guys really delivered with some of the most juicy opinions about roller coasters. So let's find them out. Let's go. Also, in the spirit of beer in a theme park from last year, this year we're not doing beer in a theme park, but we have tons of other stuff for you, polls and all kinds of different things. And those things are also going to be on those social media sites. So check those out so that you can participate in our roller coaster fun this winter. So we're starting this journey today with YouTube first. And I went on there and asked you guys, what's an unpopular opinion you have that will make the coaster community hate you? And this loser said, thoosies only like airtime because El Toro Ryan told them to. First of all, it's not El Toro Ryan, you idiot. It's Airtime Thrills. And then, shoot, that was me. Anyway, let's see what yours were. Gatekeeper is very underrated. I have it number 2 on my list of all time. I gotta agree with you, Chicken Nuggets 911. I absolutely love Gatekeeper. It's one of my favorites, but Taylor doesn't like it very much. So go roast him down in the comments of this video. El Toro is horrible because of how shaky it really is. Yet people don't see it that way. King Ka is currently my favorite coaster of all time. Stats matter, height, speed, length, etc. People like to think that it's all and only about the experience, but stats matter like height matters because it affects everything about the coaster. The racer at Kings Island is better than Gemini at Cedar Point. Changed my mind. 1, Twister is actually better than Phoenix. 2, no one cares that you have the tallest drop coaster with red tracks and black supports with 2 balloon trains. Okay, so Spike, I actually completely agree with you here. A lot of times people have this idea that like every single coaster needs to break records, and especially with Cedar Point, they think that a lot. And I love it when they can break records as much as possible, but it's become to the point where basically nothing can break records anymore unless you can do something really, really crazy. So it's just a little bit fun to have something that can break the records, you know, like if you're the tallest drop coaster, things like that. But in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter? I don't know that it really does. The racer at Kings Island is better than Gemini at Cedar Point. Changed my mind. I'm not sure that I want to. I like Gemini a lot, but the racer, I mean, it's pretty fun actually. I think it's really good, especially after it's retracking in 2021. Is that right? It was very, very good. So yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at you for that comment. Credits don't matter that much, actually. I'm so into you. That's absolutely true, in my opinion. I'm not a credit counter. Like, I'll ride the same ride over and over and over again, but I don't really care if I've ridden, you know, 500 different coasters or if I've just ridden the same ones multiple times. I like to ride as many rides in a day as I possibly can when I'm at, like, Cedar Point. I like to get that variety of all the different rides, but I don't know that I really care about credits. And it's something where, to me, I'm like, why do you call them credits anyway? Like, just say I've ridden this many different coasters if you're gonna like keep a list and stuff like that. It is fun to have like a list and to have your rankings and stuff like that. I do that, you know, I'll be ranking some coasters this year even, but it's just not something where like I'm gonna keep this like active list and go visit as many as I possibly can. It's fun to go visit, it's fun to go ride a whole bunch, but they're all a different experience and they don't have to be ranked constantly. If you ask me today to rank all the rides that I've ridden, and then you ask me tomorrow to rank all the rides that I've ridden, I will have a completely different list with completely different numbers tomorrow than I have today for you. It's just the way it works. They're all different and they're all great in different ways. Some days I'm looking for something a little bit different than other days. So yeah, they're great. They're all great. Knowing every company and their coasters isn't necessarily an achievement. Millennium Force is overrated. I've been going to Cedar Point for over 12 years and it always seems to let me down. What? Raptor's overrated. I can see how people like the intensity, but I think it could just be one of those rides that I've ridden so often, it's kind of lost its appeal. I'll give you the drop on Raptor though. It does still catch me off guard on occasion. Magnum is the worst and most painful coaster I've ever been on. Okay, so I think there's a great amount of sarcasm in this exchange that happened down below this, and it makes me laugh every single time that I read it. Bro, did you sit in row 3? If you sit in row 5, it's really not that bad at all. Coaster people who have a certain row. First of all, to me, hilarious. I love it. I love it. It's prime meme fodder. They're all a little bit different. Like, I'll give you that. They all have a different feel, but they're all also different on different days, depending on how much they trim the ride, depending on which way the wind is blowing, depending on how good Panda Express smells that day. They've all got their benefits. People are just so into these different seats, and I don't think that they actually help nearly as much. Not to mention, just to me, variety is the spice of life. Yeah, I only sat in row 3 and nowhere else. So my opinion could change when I go back. First of all, if you have the opinion that Magnum is the worst and most painful coaster I've ever been on, you didn't just ride that coaster one time. Either that or else you're just asserting your opinion really, really hard. Then they said, yeah, that's why, haha. Row 3 is the magic seat. You get the insane airtime, but it hurts so bad. Try row 5 next time. The sarcasm gets me every single time and I love it. This one's from Chap Lagoon. Hey, how you doing? So he has a whole bunch of different comments. So we're gonna go through each one of these one at a time. More often than not, flat rides are much better than most coasters and better worth your time. I disagree. I disagree because I've ridden some flat rides at Kings Island that just take for freaking ever. It was the worst thing that I've ever done. I didn't ride it, but I mean, there's no experience that's worth an hour and a half. Every FastPass option that wasn't Disney pre-2020 is heavily flawed and a waste of money. I agree with that, and I even think Disney's fast lanes now, or their Genie Plus system, really isn't very good either. It's probably still the best system out there, besides maybe Express at Universal. But yeah, not a great system, and really most of them aren't that great. Fastlane I don't think is that great either. Although individual Fastlane I actually think is substantially better because you can choose one ride and you can ride that ride. So if you're really just wanting to hit one ride, you're wanting to hit Millennium, but it has an hour-long wait and you don't want to wait that long, then you can get an individual Fastlane. And then it also allows you to choose which fast lanes maybe are worthwhile more. Like I would choose Maverick to do an individual fast lane on instead of choosing Steel Vengeance or Millennium Force, because those don't have very good fast lanes where they merge really early and then you still have to wait an extra half hour anyway. So those individual fast lanes allow you to have less cost up front, but to not wait in one of the rides pretty easily. So I like that a lot better. Steel Vengeance is the most overrated coaster I've ever been on. Whoa. Wait a minute. Cedar Point is possibly the best amusement park there is, but the water park and entertainment are more enjoyable than any coaster. Absolutely not even a hot take. You're speaking facts, my boy. Gatekeeper is better than every Cedar Point coaster other than Millennium Force. No coaster is worth waiting longer than 40 minutes. Actually, I really agree with that too. I don't want to ever wait longer than 40 minutes for anything. And maybe an hour at very most for like a few coasters. Steel Vengeance, I would wait an hour for. Maverick, I would wait an hour for, but even waiting an hour for Millennium Force, I know there are moments of the day when I could get on it a little bit better than waiting an hour. Thank you guys so much for hanging out for all of these hot takes. This video was actually so long that I split it up into 3 different videos. So check back for Twitter and Instagram coming up very, very soon. Like I said, go to those links down below and join us in the social media sphere. We have a ton of fun on Not Your Normal G1 and all the different platforms. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. Press that subscribe button if you haven't. And if you've made it this far, then definitely leave a like or leave a dislike, because obviously you liked or hated something. And also leave a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite hot take is, or if there's one that you have that you'd like to share, let me know what your hot take is, your personal hot take is also. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and let's go! Hey, thanks for watching. I release theme park related videos at least a couple times a week, so press that subscribe button if you made it this far. Also, check out similar videos in the playlist to the right, or find my newest video to the left. Thanks again, and let's go!